It's the UPX Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, Thank Me Later, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming obsession as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your UPX, man. On your way, and the dough hit you with $4,000. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping. Over to moving and shucking. I'm Scrooge McDuckin in UPX.
Welcome, fellow Uplanders, to another exciting episode of the Upland Property Experts. I am your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, I'm joined by Thank Me Later. How are we doing this evening?
I am good.
So, I always forget, since we've been streaming live on YouTube, when we play the intro that's done by Mars, Utah, and everybody thinks is great. Our mics are muted on the live stream, but when I'm recording here for the podcast, it's not. So I just downed the rest of my beverage and it went gulp, 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 gulp. So everybody that's listening to the podcast on Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever you choose, you're going to hear me finish my beverage before the theme song finishes so I can jump in and kick things off for episode 140.
Episode 140.
So
love it.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of stuff in this episode. We have the Collectors Club. We have Remy from the Collectors Club to come talk to us about the project they're doing there. Racing went live today in Upland. It's been a while since Upland dropped something really exciting on a Thursday.
And then Ninja, I don't even think there's an announcement.
No.
I think I got an email as a car owner, but somebody just sent me a pic. Dude, you know this is happening? I'm like, what? Yeah. So that was super random.
Yeah. And that was awesome. If you didn't see it, you did. Thank Me Later did live stream. So go ahead and check that video out of that. After this video processes, I'll have it posted as an iCard so you can just click the link. But yeah, that was pretty cool that went live. Also, NFLPA Legits, we're talking about those again, and it's interesting. There was some at first this is horrible, and I was on board with it, and then the more I read and thought about it, I changed my mind on it. We flipped and it flopped. So we'll definitely talk about all of that. So you've had a big tease last week, a lot of big reactions from what you and Kay Twice were teasing last week. You going to give us any updates this week, or is it just kind of?
I don't think we're yet ready to go big, but look out this weekend. I think we're going to try and get something out this weekend for it. So I can't say anything too much right now. Maybe at the end of the show, after I get all hyped up on Upland stuff, you'll be able to squeeze something out of me. But at this point, I can't reveal too much. But it's coming soon, and it's coming. I've been doing 20-hour days on this project, and it is it's so exciting, and it's evolving every day. We launched Spill the Beans. We have some ambassadors that are out there that are under NDA that do have some behind the scenes look at what's coming. So all they can really tell you is the hype is worth it. We brought in some people that I hope if they're in your community, then they might have mentioned hey, no, the UPX world hype is real. And so that's our goal. Again, we're developing a whole story and a narrative, and it's going to be, the project we're doing is going to be very community driven. So it's going to be very interactive with the players. The players are going to drive a lot of what gets built, of kind of what happens even in the story of UPX World and what we're building. So I know that sounds super vague without much context, but needless to say, it's going to be spectacular.
Yeah.
Not to hype it up too much, you know.
Good job, Hype Machine.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how, we give Dizzy access to the back room and admin rights for the podcast, since he helps us out on stuff. We got to figure out how he doesn't tweet from the Upland property experts when he makes comments.
No, that's fine. I like it. Power to Dizzy. Give it to him.
Power to Dizzy. But yeah, with we'll go ahead.
So yeah, so if you see strange tweets and posts from the UPX, the Upland property experts, know that if it's happening during the show, it's almost certainly the one and only Dizzy. Yeah, whatever it is, looking forward to it. Yeah, no, it's gonna be again. It's gonna be so much more like UPX World. I know most people know as a data site. We will have. There's definitely going to be data there because it's going to underpin the larger parts of the project we're doing. But it's going to be so much more. It's going to really be again community. We have top connections with people in the community and. Oh, yeah, no. I will dedicate one of my Minecraft plots to UPX World project. We won't need it, Max, but I appreciate that. Well, I guess I see what you're saying. Like you would, yeah, we'll talk.
No, hey, no. Don't shut that down. Definitely want to expand your metaverse presences.
I got it.
But you said.
I mean, I did, but then I said,
but you said no, thank you.
But then I changed.
Okay. I was just making sure.
I realized like Max Life is always hooking it up, man. Max Life is out there hustling hard. So shout out to Max Life. For sure.
Absolutely. Max Life did hook it up today. He connected us with Remy and the collector clubs. So really excited about that. So Max Life is always hooking it up. But yes. So anything else before we get into the interviews?
No, let's do it.
All right. So Remy is in Upland, but him and his brother and a couple other people founded the Collectors Club, and we're going to bring him on and talk about how they founded the project, what their goals are, what their missions are, and what was the inspiration, and so much more. Hey, Remy,
Hello.
How we doing, man?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
Hey, thank you so much. Doing well. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm
glad to be here. Thank you, Max Life. Yeah, so
absolutely.
Collectors Club, we're basically a meta corporation. So for the past 9 months, we've been working closely with KKOS law firm to set up a legal structure, because right now we see DAOs. DAOs are the most popular, Web3 business model, but there's a lot of SEC gray area there, right? There's so much we don't know about laws and regulations with the government. So we really made sure that, because honestly, I believe in the metaverse long term. We all believe it in long term. It's a building stage. We've all seen the market. So taking your time to set up the infrastructure was our goal. And so we did that essentially. Yeah. I mean, it's been great. We're a collectors club. We're trying to build a brand. So we operate as sort of a DAO where we invest in multiple different metaverse and play to earn projects, play to earn gaming assets and sponsor people. And one of that main metaverses we're involved in is Upland.
So were you playing Upland before you decided to form this company, or was that after you formed this company that you discovered Upland?
So one of our other founders, Uatu the Watcher, he actually introduced me into Upland. And so I'd say Collectors Club and Upland Collectors Club has always been an idea. So about the same time I got into Upland, Collectors Club was the idea. We've been building for quite some time. We just haven't gone very public about it.
So how did you find that? That's a rarity right now, is finding lawyers that understand Web3, understand the metaverse. How did you get connected with the group that you're working with?
So luckily enough, my mother's a life coach, and through that connection, she knew Mark, who owns KKOS law firm. But that's why it took so long. We were talking closely with him and his team and the SEC for 8 months, explaining them to this space, trying to get them to understand so they could build a legal infrastructure around it. So that is why it took so long. They didn't know. We taught them.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
What's that legal structure look like?
So essentially, it's just a corporation that operates a DAO. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing too outlandish, but it's definitely it's a decentralized corporation. So our 7 founders our board of directors all have complete equal ownership. So it is still decentralized. All business decisions require a majority vote, but it's not a traditional DAO into where everybody who owns a token gets a vote, right? Because again, there's always some sort of there's a lot of issues that could lead with that.
So that sounds centralized then. Like, not that I care, because I think it's the right model. I don't think having, to run a corporation like how DAOs traditionally. So,
no, it absolutely is. It's definitely more centralized than the traditional decentralized, but it's still technically decentralized because not one person has control. 7 do. But yes, it's not the classic decentralized model where everybody has. We take all decisions that we make, we leave it up to the community. They have a vote, right? But we always have final say just to make sure, because mass majority is not always the best. That's why we have the electoral college.
I was going to say, so you're an electoral college model. That's what I'm hearing. Like,
pretty much.
Vote, but if you vote dumb, we have the right to change it.
Exactly. But we're building out our communities in a bunch of different metaverses, and we realize that the players and the communities that are playing the game, they know what's best. We don't know what's best. They know what's best. So we'll let them make the decisions and then allocate funds or resources, time accordingly.
Yeah, no, probably smart to keep some power, because I would say that any community has probably some smart people, but yep, electoral college, it makes sense for that. Yep. For the purposes of a corporation, for the record, we won't need to get into how democratic process or any of that nonsense, but from a corporation, because, I think Upland's a great example of if Upland let the players run and dictate exactly how they executed, I don't think that they would be where they're at. And I know, regardless of what you think, they're actually in a really, really strong position in the market. And I know a lot of people aren't happy with, where they're at. But if the players had driven the roadmap and the decisions, I don't think Upland would be in nearly as of a strong a position as they currently are in. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been in Upland now? Or actually, what metaverses is the Collectors Club all involved in right now?
So we're Upland, TCG World, Star Atlas, Phantom Galaxies. Those are our main ones right now. We're kind of allocating most of our time and resources towards Upland because obviously Upland has been doing some great things recently, and we just launched Collector City. So we've been really focusing on that to build out our community here. But then eventually we'll transition to some more metaverses. I really like TCG World too.
Yeah. Okay.
TCG World. Oh no, I was thinking CCG World. Like if it was like a CCG, collectible cards. I like collectible cards. I don't know what TCG is.
Well, TCG, the trading card game company that sells.
Oh, that sounds like TCG. I was like, that sounds like okay.
It's their metaverse, but yeah.
Oh, and they do cards.
Yeah, their cryptocurrency. You'll be able to buy cars and stuff within
cars like
Ryan Mud Faction, baby.
Mud. I don't know anything about that. Sounds dirty. I like it. Are any of them on mobile? Is TCG
No.
or no?
No.
Never mind. Putting away my phone. Sorry. Metaverses. Get on. People realize that that's the future of mass market. Anyway.
But yeah, so cards, monsters, etc. on TCG World. Thank you, Collectors Club.
So here's something you guys are doing pretty cool in Upland.
Yeah. So thank you at Uatu for making these beautiful logos.
Yeah.
That top one is just our main logo, and then the Realty and Construction Company. We're working on those in the back end, as well as the Grand Prix. We are also working on that on the back end. We're waiting for more information around racing and stuff to come into play, but we want to set up a sort of Grand Prix where there's 10 exclusive tracks and we host a tournament. People can register and we'll do, UPX giveaways as well as our own stuff for giveaways and, one-of-one NFTs as trophies and stuff. So we want to, make a Grand Prix for Collectors Club, but obviously we're waiting to see more information regarding racing.
Oh, I got tingles, man. We definitely need to talk. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. Cars actually the cars actually came today, so we actually have 2 cars, a van and a minivan, so we get to try out the racing. I know you were streaming that earlier.
Yeah, wait. So have you raced? I was curious, like when you race a van or a mini, like do they put you in a race with other similar cars, or do you have to race the series against the Series 1 cars? Because you'll get by Series 1.
Yeah, I'm actually not totally sure. That's a good question. I have to figure that out. I don't really pay attention to that. I'll let you know though after this live stream.
Yeah, no, that'd be interesting because like when you do the race with the Series 1, you're against 3 Series 1 and 2 Series 4.
Okay.
And the Series 4s are like a minute, like they lose. They come
a minute
every single time. They have no chance. Yeah, like that means they can't compete against sports cars. No. But it does say that the races are open to any.
Well, I'm assuming it's probably open to anyone. I don't think it'd match the same cars, probably just because there's not enough out there.
Yeah, no. This is very early days of So, but I'm curious if they randomly generate against your own tier, because like that would be depressing to test out your SUV and just lose every time. Like you have no chance of getting first. Like
you just see all the cars going up in the distance, and you're just like,
You're like, come on.
Yeah, and I'm actually really excited for them to bring in manufacturing and for us to like actually start creating our own vehicles, because Oddkey, which is a NFT marketplace created by Todd McFarlane, and if you guys don't know who Todd McFarlane is, he created Image Comics and McFarlane Toys, the character Venom and Spawn, that was him, and also Steve Aoki, a very popular DJ. It's their NFT marketplace, and Collectors Club, we run that. So we actually are going to build, hopefully, when they introduce manufacturing, introduce some Spawn mobiles and some unique concepts from Todd McFarlane into Collector City. So maybe that'll be bringing on some more collecting and brand aspects to Upland. Yeah.
You might not. Yep. We definitely need to talk.
Yeah. So here's something cool you guys are doing too. So basically, you want to tell us a little bit about this with your node you have in Nashville?
Yeah, so the way we kind of have our city set up is we have our plots owned by, the club, and then it's obviously a community. So you come in, and if you stake on buildings that, as a general collective, we agree on which plots to stake on, you'll get rewards. So in Discord, if you didn't know, there's a token economy, right? You can introduce a token economy, and we actually have that system in place where we distribute rewards for people staking Spark, and they're an actual token. They're on the blockchain. So when we at the end of each month, we'll give them all the tokens, and they can redeem those tokens for prizes. So we offer collectibles, signed comics, TCG packs, maybe digital and physical, just a bunch of different digital physical assets, whether that be coupon codes to our collectible store or to Stoop House, which is a partner, their crypto clothing line. And we're always looking for more prizes and more stuff to offer our community. We're actually still working out the shop details to make it sustainable for the club and for the community. We want it to be as beneficial for the community as possible. Mark J. Kohler joined in. Shout out to Mark J. Kohler. He is the lawyer that actually helped us set up our legal infrastructure. Thanks, Mark, for joining.
And definitely, Mark, get in touch with us, because we'd love to have you on the show to talk to the Upland community about the importance of, the implications of the metaverse and the law and taxes and all that fun stuff. So we definitely got to get you on the show.
Learning about staking rewards and, utility NFTs and collectible NFTs and how they're taxed differently, it's been nuts. And yeah, the IRS is really going to be trying hard to tax all this stuff. They want money. So make sure you guys are being smart with your finances, because they're going to make an example out of somebody, and then you don't want it to be you.
That is a great, there you go. They're going to make an example out of somebody. Don't let it be.
Yeah. And we definitely, want us to be ahead of the curve than behind the curve and trying to play catch up. So that's, the more information and the more that we can bring to the community will be better.
Absolutely.
Oh, apparently they haven't marked it a whole Upland video. Definitely get us that link. I'd love to watch it and we'd share it.
Yeah. No, I did watch that video. It was a real good video that you guys did. Was that the one where you joined them on their podcast, or was that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah. And actually, one of our ambassadors is head of NFT Nashville. So, as you know, NFT NYC, there's the same thing in NFT Nashville. And so, we always have a place at their events and stuff. So we're trying to incorporate a bunch of people who live in Nashville already to say, hey, Nashville's in the metaverse. Come check out Upland and come check out Collector City. So we're really also in that field as well, which is great.
That's super cool.
And I think a lot of people are sleeping on Nashville. It's going under the radar, but these are the exact things that, will make cities like Nashville, Kansas City, Cleveland, New Orleans, that's what's going to make them pop. And that's what all of a sudden they're going to start competing with your tier one styles. You're going to tier one cities, and all of a sudden they're going to start competing with the top 5 prices. And people will be like, what happened? Things like this is what happens.
Yeah. I mean, our goal is to say, hey, Nashville's barely minted out right now, but if we can just start driving traffic to Nashville just for Collector City, that's a win-win for everybody. Win-win-win. So we know Nashville is not the most liked, but I'm moving to Nashville, so represent.
There you go.
I think it's going to be about layer 2, and it's layer 2 is going to be all about community. I think it's going to be less like right now you only buy in these real world places because it's easy to mentally link, hey, Manhattan's important, LA is important, these are big cities. But where people don't realize that's not going to be the value proposition. It's going to be who is doing these amazing projects. Where are these, kind of communities being built out? I don't know many in Manhattan. I know that because it's so dang expensive, it's hard to grow a good community there organically. You need to go to a Nashville. There's some that are historic from SF, some that are building up in LA. Can anybody name a node or community in Manhattan?
It's way too expensive to buy connecting properties there. It's just nuts.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's pitched a racetrack for Manhattan. I just go it's going to be really interesting to see how that when layer 2 and all these stuff starts coming out, how Poppy says Morningside Heights.
Morningside Heights.
Poppy, no offense.
Okay.
I never heard of it. I didn't even know that was a Manhattan neighborhood, Morningside Heights. So I'm there. How am I there? There's no way I'm in Manhattan. I have 6 properties in Manhattan.
You're in a node and you forgot about it?
No, Poppy. Don't.
That's awesome.
I mean, I might be in Morningside Heights if it's not in Manhattan, but if it's in Manhattan, I can't imagine that I have.
Yeah, I mean, what's beautiful about Upland is that they sell the properties, but they're all undeveloped, and it's up to us, the community, to develop those properties. And so, where people are, doing their projects and collective gathering, building communities, that's where it's going to be most valuable. I mean, real world addresses are cool, but it's not like I get partial ownership in the property when I own their digital property. It's just kind of like clout. It's like, hey, I own your house in the metaverse. Deal with it. It's like buying someone's domain before they do, but you're buying their house.
Paving the way for nodes. Yeah.
Ooh, that might.
Well,
that might make some people upset.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there's always going to be real world value with the locations because.
Oh yeah.
But
no, I think
absolutely.
Talking about nodes specifically. So there's an ongoing, I don't want to say debate, but conversation around the term node as opposed to community, where a node really, it talks about a network of nodes. So multiple neighborhoods connected together under one theme, as opposed to one community, one neighborhood, one project. Not really the intent over the larger concept of a node. So I think that's and I know that in the Upland community as a whole, that vernacular is kind of, interchangeable, but there is conversations around we should be more specific in understanding a node as a collective inside of a larger network versus a community of hey, this is our neighborhood and we're a community. But it's really a single project versus multiple related projects together. That's all.
Yeah. We like to call ourselves a micro city.
Ooh,
we don't really, city. Yeah, we don't use, a node is more like a marketing term because a traditional node, I mean, it's just, yeah, we like to call ourselves a micro city just to avoid confusion.
No, I'm done. Like, let's do it.
Micro city. I like it.
Micro city is fun. Like, hey, join our micro city. Like,
Yep.
I like it. Cool.
I like it. So what are you most excited for in Upland and in the Collectors Club coming in the next 6 months?
In the next 6 months? Well, I don't know exactly. I mean, there's so much about Upland, the third-party development, Ethereum bridge, all of it. All of it is so much potential. Because if they do the Ethereum bridge, think of all the Ethereum projects that can upload their NFTs and set up little meta ventures just for that one There's so much more traffic and reason to come to Upland when you're bridging Ethereum. It's going to be fantastic, but also racing and actual gamification. As much as I love treasure hunting, man, it's tedious.
Who loves treasure hunting?
I was actually doing the Treasure Rush event today, and I'm like so close to the top 200, but it's just like, is it worth it? Like, I got another 2 days of 4 hours of grinding for this. But the gamification, I mean, with the hackathon event where they're talking about the battle arena, like all of it, just it's going to be so much. Ready Player One, and I always got to drop it. It's my favorite book. I've read it like 15 times, and I grew up a gamer, so I've always been, envisioning a metaverse, this oasis, for instance. So it's just all very exciting to me. Collectors Club, I love collecting. I'm a big Pokemon card collector. I'm a big Fig Pin collector, and now I collect NFTs. We want to build a brand, become the hub for collectors in Web3, right? We want to bring all these different collectors. I want to see what people are collecting. I want to, the shoe collectors, the shirt collectors, the NFT collectors. We want everyone to be in a community, sort of like a Comic-Con is the event everyone goes to in person. We want to be the community that everyone goes to online for the collectors.
I love it.
So how do people get involved with the Collectors Club, and can they stake? Can they have ownership, or is it just a set? What can somebody do to hook up with you guys?
Yeah, there's multiple. I mean, just join our Discord and talk to us. We are always down for any sort of community involvement. We're always open to if everyone has their own ideas to bring to it. But we also have our NFT collections. We have our own cryptocurrency, CCG. It's on the Solana blockchain. We're based on the Sol blockchain. But we're working on our main NFT collection. One of our ambassadors is partnered with CG Studios. So actually, I just got off the phone with him, the head of CG Studios. They're developing our renderings for our main NFT collection. And yeah, just being part of having that NFT will, mean you're part of our community and you can benefit from all of our ITM rewards. Those ITM rewards are not just Upland oriented. We have that main thing in our main Discord as well. And we'll probably introduce it into other different metaverses, just so people can participate in our community, get rewards, and actually redeem those rewards for physical prizes and physical assets, so they feel like they're actually getting something for their time.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I won't put the Discord link here because you put it on YouTube and then you get a bunch of bots. So I won't do that to your Discord. But definitely you can get a hold of one of us, and we'll get you linked up with your guys' Discord.
I'm also a broadcaster in Upland, so I got that weird colored name that I should stand out. Remdog CC. Just hit me up anytime, and I'll shoot you an invite.
Yeah, got that
Very
too.
cool.
Oh, hey, that's
College
my thing, man.
College Dog NFTs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's the Players Lounge. The Players Lounge. Yeah, they're working name, image, likeness with college athletes.
Dizzy's waving me down. Dizzy's saying, "Shut it down."
I'm sorry, Dizzy. You're gonna have to catch me up after the show. I'd love to hear about it.
Oh, he just doesn't want me to talk about it.
Oh,
he's shutting me down. He's not shutting you down.
Yeah.
No, but I'll talk to you. We'll definitely connect. I'll let you in on what the Players Lounge is doing.
Courier, you don't watch it. Sorry.
Wow. Yeah, no, but we'll definitely link up. I'll talk to you about what they're doing with name, image, likeness.
Awesome.
Really excited that you joined us today. So happy that you were able to stop by, drop the knowledge. Look forward to having more conversations. Max Life, once again, thank you so much for making this happen.
Yes, thank you.
Really appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys having me on, truly.
Yeah. You got anything before we let you go this evening?
No, I mean, just would love to see you guys in our community. I'd love to see you guys in Upland. Go Upland. I mean, we're all we're all rooting for the same thing here. The rising tide raises all ships. So
preach it, brother.
Web3 community collaboration, we're all for it. My DMs are always open. Oh yes, San Diego Comic-Con, that's coming up. So as I mentioned, we're part of Oddkey. I'm actually running their exclusive holder event. So if you go into Comic-Con and you're a fan of Todd McFarlane, there's an NFT holder event. If you're interested in that, let me know. But we'll be throwing the event, so I will be there. And I'm very excited for that. Hopefully maybe I'll see you over there.
Dude, man. SD
What dates for that?
The Friday. So it'll be the 22nd. The 22nd is the day of the actual the actual event.
Okay.
Comic-Con is
so July 22nd. Okay.
July 22nd. Yep.
Jealous.
I know. I've never been to a Comic-Con. I'm actually super stoked.
What? You've never been? Oh.
No.
Dude.
I know. I say I'm a collector, and I've never even been to a Comic-Con. I'm a fraud.
San Diego. I don't know what it's like post-COVID, but I mean, it was. I lived in San Diego a couple years, and that was like the highlight of my time there for sure.
The Anime Expo just happened, and that was popping. So I can only imagine what this Comic-Con is after COVID. Everyone's going to want to go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's going to be nuts.
Super cool.
All right, Remdog. Thank you so much, and we'll definitely talk soon.
I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers.
All right, have a good one. All right, so we'll definitely get you links. They'll be in the description. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Remy. And moving on. So the secondary market, the top 10 city floors, U.S. dollar took a beating this week. I was actually surprised. More people undercutting the floor there. And then not much movement overall. New Orleans dropped down 1 spot. Staten Island and Brooklyn jumped up 2 spots apiece. Other than that, the top 7 remained the same.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, that kind of fluctuation, like that's negligible to me. Like plus or minus, like, less than 10% to me is negligible.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just standard. Like, to me, that's almost flat.
Right. And Rutherford, they're buying up the floor again. They pushed it up to 62,000.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm on the fence of like, is Rutherford maybe we'll do like an exclusive like round table of like, is Rutherford the smartest play in Upland or the biggest mistake?
Ooh, I like that teaser.
Like, I'm torn. Like, it is so small and unique, but like, you're not gonna have like, what's the motivation to have people come there? Like, you have such a tight control with such a small area, like outside of like the natural draw of, okay, it's got a couple football teams, but what's your layer 2 strategy? Like, what is going to draw people there? Where like the bigger cities or even places like Nashville, where you're going to be able to get hundreds of and thousands of community members to come and build something together that they're super proud of, and the reach that that's going to have, versus a handful of people controlling a few thousand properties in a place that's kind of hard to get. Like, you're going to have a really big draw to get there and to motivate people to drive value. So I am curious to know, obviously the people who are doing it, I do respect in the Upland community. I mean, they're sharp people. So, and I don't think that they're doing it blindly. I think that they have a plan, whether or not they're willing to start sharing that. But yeah, I'm always fascinated by Rutherford. Rutherford has been an easy sell at the moment. I've always had, yeah. I mean, I think I have 2 properties there because I want to have a property in every city for sure. But yeah. I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Yeah. Bottom 5 cities, pretty flat.
Oh yeah. Hey, it's all green though. There you go, more or less.
Yeah. Other than Los Angeles, they came down by like a penny. But other than that, all green, floors rising. No complaints there. Sold out. Looking at sold out. Los Angeles 67%, Nashville 71, Queens 75, Las Vegas 76, Kansas City 77, Detroit 78, Chicago still sitting at 98%.
Yeah, Bobby says he'd like to do the same conversation Fresno Bakersfield.
Yeah,
I think like honestly, I got it. Yeah, it would be good. We could do that.
because the interesting part with Fresno and Bakersfield is Fresno secondary market is 172% markup on its floor, which is actually down. It was close to 200% the last couple of weeks, but that's actually down. And like, what's the draw there? Why is it 172%? And Bakersfield not as bad at 128%, and we're speaking in UPX on those markups on the floor. And if you look at the US dollar markup,
yeah, it's so cheap though. Fresno is so cheap. I think Fresno, as much as I've dogged on it in the past, has some real potential in layer 2 because the properties are so big and spacious, and like I think that there's a lot of opportunity there. So I don't know. Like I think Fresno and Bakersfield, like some of these smaller tier cities that have a cheaper up square ratio, I think people are going to find potentially reasons to start wanting to go there. Layer 2 is just going to change everything. That's the thing. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Now this is over the
might lose 3%.
Now that's the interesting thing. So this is based off of 3 weeks ago. So this is based off of 3 weeks ago, and this is the changes from 3 weeks ago. And for some reason, Detroit went up to 81%, and then all of a sudden it got knocked down to 77%. It's back up to 78%. I did send a message to the people over there at UPX Land, and they said they were getting it to their developers, and I never got like an official statement of what happened, but it's 2 weeks now that it's been down 77. And
are they releasing more properties? Like, cause,
didn't
somebody say that they released some properties in LA?
Oh, really? I must have missed that one.
I thought Dizzy was saying that they released some more in that like weird, like the bridge area between like the things.
Yeah.
There were some like ones that are available. I feel like they do that sometimes where they just like were previously locked properties just because I mean we saw that in San Francisco periodically, like these properties, and then like there were sometimes that they would like hype it up, but yeah. Wait, what was that?
Okay, so this is the top 10 cities UPX like markets percent, and it's the change from the previous week.
I like this a lot. This is cool. Good job to whoever put this together.
I did.
Good job. Well, I didn't know if you outsourced it, but like this is cool. Because I mean, this tells the story, right? To me, this is way more telling than the floor. I mean, yeah, the floor numbers are good, but like if I'm an investor, and I hate the I word because it's so loaded. But like if I'm buying into one of these areas, like this is what I want to know. Like Rutherford's sitting at 500% like markups, like. But you know what's interesting? Now I'm talking through it. Like I wonder like if that percentage will even really matter in the future, as opposed to like, will people care about the percentage, or will people care about the communities they're buying into and the value that like the layer 2s are bringing in to that particular area? But it's still very telling.
I mean, because sooner or later you're going to have the hardcore real estate people in here that are looking to, analyze the deal, get the best properties in the best neighborhoods. So they'll still analyze this and look at it. But then other people are just going to buy the cheapest thing to get into that community they want to get into, or they're looking for the best deal. Like this week, Manhattan's UPX floor went down, but yet the markup on the floor went up 15% basically. So even though the cheapest property went down, the markup percentage on the cheapest property went up.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Like to talk about what that means. So I mean, because right now there's only a couple like layers strong node in Rutherford. I mean, there are some strong community creators there. It's just a matter of what they're actually going to do with it. And right now, I mean, you only have a couple metrics that you can look at, like you said, like what's the actual floor as far as say price per up square or the markup percent. But I think in the future, it's going to be a lot more granular too. Because I mean, we look at it by city, and I think once the layer 2 stuff, it's going to be, city is going to be important, but I think you're going to see a much bigger disparity. And I think we definitely want to, now that I'm saying this out loud, one thing we should put on our note, like we should try and get a snapshot of these kind of metrics like floor and percent markup by neighborhood prior to like major layer 2 things coming out, because I am curious to see how impactful the layer 2 is because I think you're going to see a disparity in places like Manhattan, which only has maybe a couple of nodes, where those value of those nodes will skyrocket. But outside of those communities or strong networks, like you're not going to have as big of a value proposition, like because you're going to have so many other metrics. Like let's just say, for instance, racetracks. Like there's now 3 neighborhoods that have the alpha racetracks in them, and all of the properties along that racetrack, now have probably a lot more value. Like they're highly visible. You can see Ryan M's metaverse shop in on the corner of which race is that? The Marina race. His Fight for the Cure. That's not the name of it, and I feel bad. Hold on, I have Upland open. But like you can see his meta venture in there in the actual race, and so I think like that's going to determine a lot.
Yeah, and here's the markups in US dollars, and basically everything dropped this week with a few exceptions in Bronx and Oakland, but it was negligible on the rises, 2% and 6%, 3% for Oakland and 6.25% for the Bronx. Everything else is down. So even though Rutherford's UPX rose, their US dollars dropped by 12.5%.
Spread the Cure, by the way, is what his thing is called.
Spread the Cure.
Spreadthecure.org. So like that is, I think one of the only meta ventures that's like in like meta venture structures in. Oh, I didn't realize, man. I got two properties right next to it. Dang. One lumbar
Nice.
and man, I might have to build on those.
There you go.
Ryan M, reach out to me, man. I got your neighbors.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe at the end I'll do the race. I'll do a live race.
Okay.
In that, so that way we can see it. We'll save that at the end.
Sounds good. Yeah. So US dollars took a hit on the floor, and it also took a hit on the floor markup in US dollars. So they track pretty evenly, which you would expect.
Yes, it's very fascinating. Oh, wait, is that Ryan? Is that Ryan? Oh, dude, I didn't know that was your Ryan. Oh, nice. Yeah, so this is interesting. You can see how quickly the USD floor drops from like, over mint to under mint. Like Brooklyn is now under mint. Like Oakland,
Right.
and like these are the top ones. Like these aren't even the bottoms. Like
No.
that says
Nope.
something, right?
Right.
Oh, it's cool. Cool. Ryan, we're going to show, if you haven't, I don't know if you've seen it, man. We got to show you, I'll show you in the race. Your meta venture is in one of the races. Super cool.
So Upland Legits, they have the 2021 Memento Flashback sale. So this is our last chance to get 21 Mementos, and I got very limited ones. When this announcement dropped yesterday, there's a lot of messages of, do you see this hot mess? What are they doing? They have this all jacked up. And I was like, what are we talking about? Then I had a couple angry texts like, they just killed the 2020 value mementos doing this. And so then I had to read it. and I had to reread it a couple of times to just make sure I was fully understanding this. It's so this is the first 13 weeks of the season that they didn't have any 2020 mementos. So you couldn't go to the store, you couldn't go to the team shops and purchase, the jerseys or the hats or the game balls and all that. So they're putting these in packs. It's not like they're re-releasing stuff. It's not like they're flooding the market with more. This is for the 2021 stuff. And I honestly think it's a good deal if you have the ability to do it. Now, this is not going to be the only sale. There's going to be a couple of these throughout as they try to capture weeks 1 through 13. But, if you get one of the 3 fire memento bundles, it's going to cost you 200,000 UPX, but you're going to get 3 items in it, and it's a 3 to 5 fire stat mementos. So I think that's very valuable in itself.
Sure.
Yeah, I know you don't like the football.
Because I'm just not I'm waiting. Like, I bought a bunch of 2020 legits. The 2021 legits I bought were literally just for burners to trade off to get other things. I don't know. I need to see. I need to see more from this. I need to see more what their plans are. The collector score and stuff is fun. This again, it's super cheap, I guess. Comparatively, they also announced there's going to be price reductions next year. So I don't know what that does to the value of 2021. They also talked about potentially introducing UPX rewards for collections, which is interesting. If they're going to add a passive income to it. Well, that was in the announcement.
No, I know that's in the announcement, and I think it's a bad idea. That's another way to continue to dilute the UPX supply, is giving an UPX reward for it. Your reward for having these collections is to be able to get into the team shops ahead of everybody else, because you have that fan score based off of your collections. So you can purchase the mementos in the fan shops that Sunday, before anybody else. So if you really want to have the funds for it, you can jump in there and get it. I think lowering the cost of these is a great idea, because it was sticker shock all last year. People were like, "This is ridiculous." You only had a few people that could afford the game balls. You only had a few people that could afford the top stuff. So it will make it more competitive, which will make the collector score more important. A fire stat is a game where the individual player is, they had a great game with great stats, and Upland and the NFLPA has put a little fire next to that statistic. So touchdowns, receptions, or, rushing yards or passing yards. You can have a 4 to 5. There's very few 5 fire stats out there. So those are the rares of the rare.
You have to win the game. You have to win the game and win by a certain amount, and then have all your stats be fire. So, I will say it's interesting, because one thing as a gamer, that I always look for is if, and Ryan says, hey, it's a high quality stuff. Yeah, that's true. And I think that they're waiting because they need more gamification utility. But again, if you put your gamer hat on, what I read into this is fire stats are likely going to play some sort of role in whatever layer 2 they build. I think that they're going to want to highlight these, because that's the only reason to price them differently, because these are kind of Upland's subtle ways of nudging people towards getting them to align on hey, what might be valuable in the future.
Yeah. And the fire stats to a collector, that gives you the rarity as somebody that collects sports cards or anything. And then here's just the odds of pulling a jersey or a cap for the different tier of players in the 3 fire bundle and the 2 fire bundle.
I would be interested to see, because in the 2 fire bundle, can you get a higher fire than 2? I would be curious to know, if there is because honestly, looking at this, like my previous statement about the fires is like, because I go the value proposition. First of all, it's a 3-pack versus a 2-pack. Right. I think the 3 fire, you get 3.
Yep.
And then the 2 fire, you get 2. So like, there's, some discrepancy. I mean, that's still about 30,000 a piece versus whatever 200.
About 66,666.
Twice as expensive, but you have a chance of getting a game ball. You don't have any chance of getting a game ball in the other one.
That's correct.
So it's just like, to me, that's a 6% chance at a game ball is significant, because those game balls for sure hold a lot of value. If you pay $200,000 and got a game ball, you're feeling pretty good. However, if you got 2,000, so wait, tier 1, which is better? Is it tier 1 is the best players?
Yes.
Well, like, you pay $200,000 and you get like a tier 5 cap. You're probably feeling pretty bad.
It would be bad if you paid $200,000 and got a tier 5 cap, a tier 5 jersey, and 2 tier 5 jersey. Like all 3 were all tier 5.
Yeah.
I mean, the probability, it's 2.55%. The probability of that happening, it's pretty much weighted that you're going to get a 3 or 4 star or 3 fire, and then your 6% chance at a game ball. There's only 250 being released right now, but they will have more releases in the future.
Well, you can figure it out too, right? You know how many games there were, how many games were played, the players that are in, each one of them gets a memento per game. So, I mean, somebody could do the math to figure out how many of these, particular things they're going to backfill. So,
yeah. And what they didn't tell you is they just said these are going to be mementos from weeks 1 to 13. They haven't told you which games, which weeks or anything. It's just going to be open it up and see. And I do hope that since they've had some time since the last legit release, there's, a delay that as soon as you come into Upland, once you buy it, you can actually get your legits right away. If they still have a delay, at least defer it and go to open later, that it just goes into your assets. So you can open later. Instead, you're not stuck opening 10, 15. Well, I mean, you're not going to get 10 or 15 packs this time around. But I'm just talking about the overall mechanics here. Hopefully they've made improvements on that aspect of it.
What do you think about the fact, like, I'm surprised they didn't pad these with a bunch of essentials too. Like, is that, like, are you glad that they weren't like, oh, in each bundle you'll get 10 random essentials? Like,
in a way that kind of makes you feel better, but it also keeps, I'd be interested to see on how many 2021 essentials were sold, overall, to see what that market was. And, if it's a high number, I guess it would I just want to see the percentages. How many are already out there and how many would you introduce? So I guess it comes down to that from a collectability standpoint, because NBA Top Shot ran into it. Their season 2, they only had 40,000 of a moment. Season 3, they went to 60,000 and the demand wasn't there. So they're like, we're not going to release everything we said we were going to release because the demand's not there. So they could be playing that smart. And one of the things I was wondering about, so you have these collection scores. As the 2022 season goes on, are you going to transition? Can you use 2021 and 2022 as they become available to fulfill your collection? Or will the collection score only be based off of 2021 legits, so to give you access to the stores for the 2022 season? I'd like to see that kind of clarification.
It has to be your whole collection.
Yeah.
If they were like, essentially, because that would make 2020 legits irrelevant, then, like, that would be insane.
Yeah.
No, they can't. I mean, they could do whatever they want, but if they do that, I mean, that to me is burning your legits to the ground. Because, like, then what the heck's the point of having the Genesis season of it? Like,
that's it from a collector standpoint, having the first go about on them, the first season. But hopefully They go against giving UpX rewards for the collection bonuses and, stop. All right. So,
apparently the Goldsmith says we were told that newer legits would have more value and olders would have declining modifiers. I don't remember if that was true. Fan point modifiers for on older seasons.
Usually you do it the other way to retain value on your older stuff.
Right. But hey, whatever. It'll be up to the secondary market to keep them valuable. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes. All right. So we got Freedom Fest going on in Upland. Sounds like some people aren't really happy with Freedom Fest.
Okay.
They are jacking up. They're jacking up their send fees. They say you got to think.
I did hear about some shady characters jacking up send fees to try and make a little bit of money. How scummy.
Yeah. Now, and this is, it's going to the different cities. So they have certain times set aside where the treasure rush is going on for the Freedom Fest, and you have to plan it out. You have to go ahead and plan your travels. It goes from a tier 1, tier 2, tier 4, tier 5 city, all based off of Pacific time, and it goes on from Wednesday to Saturday. So while you're treasure hunting in the Freedom Fest, you can use as many cents as you want. It's as much as you can get in 30 minutes. You can respawn a treasure for 10 UpX, but you have to travel to the different cities.
This is pretty cool, honestly. I mean, I like the concept. Like it creates a very active, I feel like most treasure hunting is kind of like passive, income, but then like this is like very much like an active, like you really want to participate.
Yeah. And you can
Block Explorer. Oh, damn. I like
Yes.
that Block Explorer. I saw that. I was like, is that going to be a Block Explorer?
It is. You got to finish in the top 200 on the leaderboard overall.
Ugh.
What you do find is barbecue chests or fireworks chests. And that barbecue chest, that should be a block explorer in itself. I like it. It looks pretty cool. So,
yeah. No, it's interesting. Like some of their other assets, you're like, guys, these are kind of cool. Like you should like sell them afterwards. Like sell the assets to the community for block explorers, or heck, even like hey, contact me. I'll make them for my decor shop. Like, let's go. Like, I'll make those barbecues for the decor. Let's go.
Yeah. So, I mean, you get treasure tier rewards for each tier, and they're giving away UpX, they're giving away Spark. You got the Master Hunter Challenge. That's the top 200. But you gotta hit each city. You gotta hit each tier.
Yeah.
You gotta be up for that time. You gotta grind out as many treasure hunts as you can in 30 minutes. So you gotta put in work for it, but you're gonna be rewarded. If you're the Master Hunter, you're getting 100,000 UpX, 0.2 Spark, and a Freedom Fest Block Explorer on top of all your other earnings throughout the hunting.
Like, I don't know, man. Can you go back to the schedule real quick? Like how many? So it's a half an hour per segment. So, and it's how many segments? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
4 a day
12.
for 4 days. 16 segments.
16 segments. So you're talking 8 hours just on like actively playing. Like, and so like what's your total UpX and everything all said and done? Like, let's say it's 500,000 worth of, goodies. I just go, I mean, I guess that's 62,000 UpX per hour.
So that's
$62
an hour. That's a pretty good job.
If you get 500,000, like, so it's just like you get multiple cities per segment. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. So, tier 1, you can be in Manhattan, Los Angeles, or Inglewood treasure hunting. Tier 2, you can be in Nashville or Queens. So,
oh, it's weird. Oh, okay. So it's like, Oh, that's weird. So like it's specific cities even. Like it's not just like any tier 1.
Yeah.
I gotta roll. Oh, dang it. We were gonna show your thing.
Yeah.
Man.
You're welcome. I love helping out monuments, and if I can get in on the stadiums, I throw my spark there too. So
All right, Ryan. Dude, Ryan, reach out, man. We gotta connect. You've been ghosting me. You've been ghosting me since Vegas. You can have multiple cities per segment. You travel in between. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of work. It's not like 8 hours worth of work to, I mean, again, everybody's not going to make a 500,000 UPX. I don't know. I'm curious what the average person. It's a total of 19.5 hours of hunting. Nah, forget that. Oh, because you can. Oh, because I think what I'm saying is you could go to Manhattan and LA and Nashville and Queens, and then tier 4 you can do like 2 hours of tier 4 in theory, because you can do. Holy criminy! Oh nope. Well, now it's definitely not worth it. Yeah, no, that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the smart thing is you'd have to have a treasure map in Manhattan, Queens, Cleveland, and Detroit. Stay all on the East Coast, or your West Coast, Los Angeles, you'd have to bounce to, Nashville and come back to Vegas to come back to Bakersfield. That's just a lot of traveling you got to plan out.
Oh my goodness. That's hey, good on you, man. If you get that Block Explorer, I'm probably going to want to buy it from you, because I dig that Block Explorer. So yeah, if you win it and you want to sell it,
and then you have the tiers where you finish in each city, where you can get rewarded too if you're the top 10 in each city, and based off of the tier of that city, you get different rewards. So I mean, it's cool. It's a lot of work. Some people are upset because they feel like it's too much work, so they're jacking up their send fees to the max for the city just to spite the whole thing.
I mean, why not spread the wealth? I mean, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a little dirty.
Yeah.
How big are the treasure chests? I don't know how much you're in the treasure chest.
Tier 1, the barbecue chest are as low as 50 all the way up to 250 UPX, and the firework chest are 2,000 going up to 10,000 in increments of 2,000. So,
wow, that's a good chunk.
But you figure you can do it anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. Well, if you're good, 30 seconds to a minute and a half, you can find a treasure and respawn. So in that 30 minutes, you could probably do 10 to 15 treasures. We'll have to ask the madman Russell how many he can get done.
Oh yeah.
All right. Do you want to do the race, and we can do, will you accept that deal next podcast?
Yeah, let's do that. Also, get your Upland merch. We got a 15% promo code. I got this sweet MV Motors hat. I got my Upland swag game on. I think they still have some of the Vegas stuff is going to stop being for sale soon, which is okay. But I mean, there's definitely some cool stuff. Share my screen. Share this window. All right. So, and here's Spread the Cure. Shout out to Ryan. And so, if you open up your menu, we will go to Rouse Racing Alpha. Dun, dun, dun. We have 3 tracks. Genesis Loop, which does loop around the Genesis property. Very, very cool. Mission District, and then the Marina Run, which I think it's the one we want.
Yes.
So, I'll enter here. You get to select your car. I'm going to select my 2022 MV Motors Series 1 Candy Apple Red. Oh, sploosh. Oh, I love that. Oh,
I hate you.
I hate
you.
Look at that. Oh my God. Look at these rims. The the carbon fiber.
Yeah, just race it.
Okay, all right, here we go. All right, we can do our full screen here. Yeah. So this is, control. I'm not controlling it at all. It is fully automated. All right, so we got I'm versus black, blue, yellow, and then we got these two poor SUVs. They just always lose. Like,
I hope they smoke you.
that would be embarrassing. I've never seen them come in anything but 5th and 6th. So there you go, right down the straightaway. Boom, right there. Spread the cure to the right.
You're not even racing real other people with cars. They're just
these are just random. Jamie, Chad Trump, Wallace. Dude, what is happening? Why is my car freaking out? So we do have a couple different views. You can go into the cockpit, and if you double click them, there we go, ferry building there. We're going to take a right here on Mission Street. Whoop. I got a landmark that's going to be right there in that corner. Damn it.
Pull up in that car.
Jeez, old Pete's. All right, we'll go here. So you can kind of get this like third person. You get, I think if I double click it, it gets a little bit closer. This is intense. And then here we got the helicopter high view. So you can kind of see the outline of the track. Dang, I'm getting smoked. Although yellow is behind. So we'll go ahead. I like this view. I mean, you can see here. Okay, we're back. That was one lap. It's 2.5 miles a minute. Is slow. That was a bad lap. Boom. There's spread the cure. So you can see the buildings, the decor, and stuff like that. Yes. So
like hopefully they improve the on the corners, even when they do straight races with Formula One and all that, they do put the corners in with some blockades and stuff. So hopefully they do build out the graphics a little more. I know we're not going to see, any Xbox or PlayStation style graphics. And man, you guys are smoking some tires here. Every time they got to work on that whole tire smoking thing,
Well, I'm just glad that we're not doing damage yet. Macro Van Vidi says, can I use your video for making a content? Yeah, definitely. And if you want me to even come on to a stream or go to something for you, I'm happy to, pull it up and we can do some races and you can do some, whatever. If anybody wants to make content around racing, do commentary, talk about it. Hit me up as long as you call out, the Upland Property Xperts and, give us a shout out. I'm happy to
stuff.
Let's see. Boom. I love the ferry building. It's so cool. And you can see there's like the Ukraine decor, which I think is going to be sweet. As we get these different holidays and people have all their decoration up and stuff. And you saw in there, I mean, it said sunny weather. So presumably as well, we'll see, the kind of that again, that gamer mentality. If I see a menu or see an item in there, I have to assume that that's because they've thought about, doing something with it.
Yes,
Boulder. 6. Look at that. They're way back there.
Yeah. Yes, Boulder, you do need a car to race right now. So, and then somebody was commenting that there's not enough stuff built up around these tracks. Well, get to building.
Right?
Get to building.
That's the beauty of it. Like if you build it, it will be in here. Which I think is so fun. There we go. Man, I got stomped. I'll do one more. I'll do the Genesis loop. I like the Genesis loop.
Of course you'll do the Genesis loop because it goes by the Genesis property.
Actually, I don't know if you can see my house. Plus this selection screen. Oh, come on now. Oh, so good. Yeah, I mean that's true. That's a good point, Drew. Is like the distance rendering is fairly impressive, and the buildings and the stuff are, that's as detailed as you could really expect because they're just not that detailed in real life, or in the game. But I mean, you can see all the the detail on the model and stuff. So this is around the Genesis. And it's actually interesting. So we talk about so LOD, so being in the decor. Oh wait, hey, you can is that? I think that was another meta venture. I never noticed that on this track.
See, look at how that's nice and built up back there.
Yeah, so this is inside of the marina is actually one of the most built out neighborhoods in the game around the Genesis property, which is cool. So what's I saying? Oh, the level of detail. So there's with the decor shops, we've been asked to do 3 LODs, which is level of detail, which is really interesting because you see it at play with the cars. So the one at the selection screen being high level of detail. I mean, it's like 4K resolution. Like the number of like triangles and content there is very, very high. This is kind of like your middle of the road level of detail here. This is probably like your standard gaming level of detail. And then in game, when you see it, like if you go to the M Motors and you see like the tiny version of it, that's like the most generic version. So like you can see 3 different levels of detail on the same kind of item in game. And I think, that's going to give flexibility to the game because while right now it looks like this, we know that they have that 4K model. So if a Forza type game came out and you really wanted to run it at that super high def level, theoretically, the models are there to do it. So I think that's kind of cool.
So are you currently in the helicopter mode?
No. This is just the normal car mode. The helicopter mode, like is like this view, which is it gives an interesting view for sure. But the shadow rendering is a little delayed. You can see like popping up. Kind of make like I don't or like some people like the first view like it makes me dizzy though. Not like
speedometer showing how fast you're going.
Yeah, that would be cool if there was like the gauges, the steering wheel, like that kind of stuff.
And understand this is the first time, so this is the first edition, so I know there'll be improvements off of it. But Edon also said, hey, they also challenge third-party developers coming in game.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this is alpha, right? Like they're not even calling this a beta. This is literally alpha. They throw it, they put it out there. I think it was a smart play. I think that the owners of some of these cars, are pretty prolific in the community to be able to showcase some of this stuff. So, yeah.
And I like that you're not putting miles on the car right now, so you can have fun. You can test it out. You can show it to the community, show them what racing looks like, and not put miles on your Genesis car.
Oh, yeah, because, I'm not actually going to race my Genesis car. It's going to go, I'll show you where it's going to park. That my Genesis car is going to go right here on the Genesis property. Right there.
Do you have room? Oh, yeah, you can park it in back.
Oh, if I can park it in front. I put my Ukraine flag back up.
All right. You got anything else before we get out of here this week?
No. Stay tuned to all your favorite channels for some upcoming announcents relating to UpX World. And if you want me to help create content or do some racing, help with racing videos or whatever you need me to stream on stuff, let me know and I'll be happy to do it. I'll wear my M Motors hat. Unfortunately, the M Motors shirt it did not come in a big enough size for me, so I got a size. But maybe if I lose 50 pounds, I'll be able to wear my M Motors shirt. But I guess they expect people to be a little bit more sporty for that. Sad face.
There you go. All right. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Thanks, Remdog, for coming in talking about the Collector Club and, covered a lot of stuff. And make sure you're following us on Twitter, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, go ahead, hit that bell and get notified when we go live, because if you didn't have that bell, you missed ThankMeLater racing live this afternoon. He was like, oh crap, I can do this live. And he jumped on the stream. So people did jump in, people did check it out. But if you don't hit that bell, you don't know when we do these surprise videos like that. So,
yeah, and I try to do it if it's new and exciting, and I have access, I'll do good. Yeah, I'll try and jump in and do it.
Yep. So make sure you tell your friends about this, share with your friends, and everybody have fun, be safe, and we'll see you in the metaverse.
It's the UPX Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, ThankMeLater, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming up session as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your UPX, man. On your way in the door, hit you with $4,000. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping. Over to moving and shucking. I'm Scrooge McDuckin' in UPX.